Today I'm planning to use a recipe that comes from this book. It's called The Complete Guide to Pressure Canning. There's a recipe for carrot soup. Her recipe calls for 10 pounds of carrots, but I don't want to use that much for something that I'm not sure if I'm going to like or that my family will like. So I'm planning to half the recipe, so it is only supposed to make about 3.5 quarts of soup. So to half the recipe, we are looking at, it'll be 5 pounds of carrots that are peeled and cut in half, 1 onion that's been quartered, 3 celery stalks, 4 cups of chicken broth, 2 cups of water, 4 garlic cloves. I don't have garlic cloves, but I do have minced garlic, 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of pepper. Her recipe is incredibly straightforward. It's just combining everything into a stock pot. You bring that to a boil and let it boil for about 5 minutes before you bring the temperature down and let it simmer for an hour. After it has simmered, in the same pot, you're just going to immersion blend it until it's, the consistency that you want. And then you add it into your jars and you can it. So processing quart jars, you do it for an hour and 15 minutes. If you do it for pints, it's going to be an hour. Once I get my veggies all chopped up, I'm going to add them to a stock pot. Once I have everything combined, just going to keep an eye on it while it starts to heat because we are trying to get it up to a boil. Once it boils, once it gets to boiling, we're going to boil it for 5 minutes and then bring the temperature down a bit so it can simmer for an hour. Once everything has finished simmering and the carrots are soft, the veggies are soft, we're going to immersion blend in the stock pot, get everything blended down to the consistency that you want. And then once you've achieved that, you'll be able to start the canning process. Before I immersion blend everything, I'm going to go ahead and get my jars washed. They're already clean, but just to make sure that there's no dirt or dust hanging around in the jars while they've been stored, I'm going to wash them again. And after they're washed, I'm going to get them filled partially with water, stick them in my canner that has about 3 quarts of water in the base, and allow all of that to come up to temp. Once we get everything cooked down, I will bring you back for the immersion blending, and then we'll be able to start the canning process.